Bitcoin at $1 million. Are you kidding me? That's what I got today in my mailbox. Two different people, Bitcoin at $1 million. You're in the real estate seller with Dawn and Nicole, and we're here to bitch about the fact that it's never getting to $1 million.
Can we say that on TV?
Why not?
All right.
This isn't TV, this is the internet. You can say whatever you want.
Good point.
You get canceled, but you can say whatever you want. Bitcoin at $1 million. So I opened up my email this morning, just like I open up every day, and I look at my news sites that send me the email.
Right.
And I always think, all right, who's behind these news stories? Who paid for these news stories? So today, I open up one of my news sites, and it says, Bitcoin is going to $1 million. This is after it just cut in half. It was 60,000. It was over 60,000. It went all the way down to 33,000. And somebody's out there going, oh, it's going to be $1 million.
It's going to be?
For one Bitcoin.
It's going to be.
That's the price prediction. But you know who I think's making that price prediction? Somebody who bought it 64,000.
Okay.
Because they're trying to make their money back.
Oh, so they're trying to inflate it, essentially?
That's what I think. Now, I did, in that same email, there was another story about how people are selling their Bitcoin and they're selling their stocks and they're buying real estate. Because what else would they buy? Hard asset. Gold, silver,
Land.
real estate.
Yeah.
Land.
Yes.
Right. Oil, barrels of oil, but just buy oil futures. Because
That's interesting.
I bought oil futures when they were like really, really, really cheap, like at the beginning of COVID.
Is oil still a thing right now? I mean,
Well, how'd you get here? I'm just curious. Did you walk?
not today.
You have an electric car? Even if you have an electric car, it still runs on oil or gas or whatever makes the electricity. What do they think makes the electricity?
Water, solar, wind.
Not enough of it.
Oh.
No, most of it's fossil
Not yet.
fuels. Most of it's either coal, oil, and gas.
Currently.
But we live in
eventually.
Florida, so I really want, you know what I want to do? I want to put the Tesla roof on. I heard about that.
Oh, the shingles.
Yeah, I so want to do that. And I want to have the battery pack so that I never lose power.
Okay.
I totally want to do that. So we're going to be looking into that now.
That would be interesting.
And there's like huge tax credits for it.
Do you think you can buy it from Bitcoin?
With Bitcoin?
With Bitcoin.
I could if I had that much.
$1 million worth.
I don't have
Of
that
Bitcoin.
much of Bitcoin, but if it goes up to $1 million, the little bit I have could be worth a lot.
To the man in her inbox, knock it off.
Right. So what I want to know is, from anybody who's watching this, could Bitcoin really reach $1 million? Could it?
I think it has too many competitors. I mean, I don't know enough about the market, but I think that there's just so many, like it's a dime a dozen. I don't know that it's going to get to that point.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's the opposite. The people who invest in Bitcoin, they do so because Bitcoin's very limited quantity. When Bitcoins were made, they were made to be a limited quantity. So that
But it's a made-up token.
Yes, I know it's a made-up limited
So I'm
quantity.
confused.
It's a made-up limited quantity.
Like-
But the people who believe in it,
Yeah.
who think that money and gold is fiat currency,
Yeah.
that's what they call it. They're calling it fiat currency.
Okay.
They could be right, you know. But what they say is that Bitcoin is the rarest thing on the planet. Rarer than the dodo bird. Rarer than Bigfoot. I'm telling you. It's rare.
So then whoever is holding the strings behind the scenes is the one that can set the
Nobody knows-
amount.
Nobody knows who Satoshi is.
Okay.
Satoshi Nakamoto, the maker of Bitcoin.
Yes.
And we don't know who that guy is.
Okay.
And he's got a bunch of them, apparently. And his hasn't been touched, so nobody knows if he's still alive or if he just lost his password. He could have lost his password. Wouldn't that be hysterical?
On this same strain, are you ready? So I saw, actually yesterday, I just saw a thing. There's an article about a guy who has spent the last 8 years at his local dump trying to find the hard drive. He's an IT guy, trying to find the hard drive that he has $350 million in Bitcoin on.
I go through, you know what, for $350 million, I'd go through the garbage.
For 8 years?
I'd go through the garbage. I wouldn't care. I'd be living in that dump.
my
I'd be throwing
gosh.
banana peels behind me. I'd be like, what the hell is this?
You know what probably happened? Somebody repurposed it. Somebody saw it as, like as they're throwing stuff in the trash. Like, oh, I could totally use this hard drive when I,
All
just
right.
use it, Mike.
So one more for the viewers. In the comments, how long would you look for that hard drive with the 350 million on it if you had to go through the dump? If you knew it was like in the dump somewhere, how long would you go through it before you gave up and just said, it's not worth it? 350 million. Ah, I'm not looking for it.
That's a great
How
question.
about you? What's your answer?
I think at some point,
And would you
probably
wear a-
within a year, I would probably sit there and be like, you know what? Cut my losses, move on. You gotta.
Life is short, right?
Yeah.
It's too short to be sitting there looking for $350
I mean,
million
if that's the
in
case, you might
dump.
as well actually go gold mining.